this article that is talking about foods we should avoid. It gives you a list of pork, any fish that doesn't have shells or fins, and it starts off by saying that fish that have fins and scales, or the ones that don't have fins and scales, there are the cleanup crew. They filter and feed and purify the water and take the poisons and chemicals and pathological bacteria out of the water. So eating an oyster is like eating a vacuum cleaner bag. Yet modern connoisseurs don't like to think about this. Crabs and lobsters are scavengers that eat dead things on the bottom of the bodies of water. Most of the unclean birds that are referred to, carnivores or scavengers, God in his wisdom inspired laws that protect humans from contracting dangerous diseases, but also protect nature's cleanup crew by making them off limit as foods. So see, if you got a particular animal that's like a cleanup crew in the earth, you don't want to eat the cleanup crew, because then he can't clean up. Ecologically, it'll be imbalanced. And so it says down here, these biological principles still operate today. As a point of illustration, the SARS, everybody remembers that, you know how stuff comes and goes. They have you all on pins and needles about it, and then next thing you know, a year or two later, we done forgot. But the SARS virus was an outbreak. It was traced back to an area in southern China where civet cats were a delicacy. And of course, cats aren't meant to be eaten, but you know, in certain places in the world, people eat a lot of things. That could be prevention. It also says down here, one of the most significant discoveries in the last century was that high-fat diets are linked to increased levels of heart disease, stroke, cancer of the colon and breast, and a host of other pathologies, including obesity, and also bring additional complications. Our challenge is to learn and recognize major sources of fat in the diet. And of course, right there, God is telling people don't eat the blood or the fat off the meat. That's just a sound concept. Like I said, I don't give this article out too much anymore, because I had a lady who was very angry with me and told me all I had to do was pray over my food. I said, well, you know, you can pray over it, but for example, if you get high blood pressure, and the doctor will tell you you can't eat pork anymore, you shouldn't eat pork anymore, and you accept it from him, but it's written right down there way back from the beginning of time, and it's there to help you. So these are preventative things. If you're on high blood pressure medication, it's going to be deduced down to whether you need an alternative to the diuretic, the water pill. Your kidneys are involved, and the approach that I take with people is I help nourish and rebuild the urinary system. And you can do that through juicing. You can do it through herbs. Some cases you can do it through vitamins and minerals. But the point being is that you can do it without taking a drug every day that forces your body to eliminate water and stomps up and down on your kidneys. Now, another source of high blood pressure is stress. Now, you can take some medications, but stress is going to have to be handled with your central nervous system. Your brain is a part of the central nervous system. Your spine is a part of the central nervous system. And there are nerves that are interconnected throughout your whole body from head to toe. That's why somebody can come up behind you and pinch you, and you're going to feel it if your nerves are functioning properly. What nourishes the nervous system? There are several vegetables. There are several fruits, there are vitamins, there are minerals, there are herbs. All depends on which route you want to take. I suggest if it's a problem, utilize all of them. You can do that simultaneously. But once you get started on these medications, then you have side effects. See, they say side effects because that sounds more pleasant than me telling you kidney damage. Oh, it's side effects. You know, side effects. Don't worry about it. They're minimal. But the side effects can be deadly. Like an article that I read in the Jet where it said African Americans are 4 to 6 times more likely to have feet and toes and legs amputated than other races of people here in America. Now, there are several reasons for that, but the bottom line is that we're taking a lot of medication and we're not paying attention when we say side effects, we're not paying attention to the organs that are being affected. I've actually talked to a couple of people about being guests on my show in the future, and we're going to take the time to talk about those quote unquote side effects. What we're going to do is we're going to break it down and show you what organs are being affected with these side effects. Because side effects just sounds like such a little pleasant way of saying something that could be major damage. So what we're going to do is say, well, okay, you might be experiencing nausea, but let's see what's really happening to your digestive system. You might be experiencing dizziness, but what's really happening to your brain or your liver or your kidneys with these side effects? So that's going to be interesting. Now, the third leg of your high blood pressure, we talked about the water pill and the diuretic, we talked about the stress, is the clogged arteries. That's directly tied into heart disease, because our number one killer here in America is heart disease. Now, heart disease is an umbrella with many things under it. High blood pressure is one of the components of heart disease. High cholesterol is another component. So you have a whole lot of things under the umbrella of heart disease. But I remember when President Clinton had quadruple bypass surgery, and it took a big toll on him, because after Hurricane Katrina, I saw Bush Sr. and Bill Clinton in a commercial together talking about what they were going to do to help with the situation. And I know that Bush Sr. is much older than Bill Clinton, but in that piece, he was recovering from the quadruple bypass, and he really looked weaker and older. And so that bothered me, because I realized that it's much easier for you to do some things to clean your arteries out now. Back in the day when I first got started, before I really got into the herbs and the vitamins and minerals, and I never let go of it, I just incorporated it all together, I was a big fan of juicing. Because juicing is a good way. If people are saying, oh, I'm scared of the herbs, the doctor said don't take herbs, I said, well, you can use juicing, and vitamins and minerals, can't you? So there are a lot of vitamins and minerals. CoQ10 is a wonderful coenzyme that is really helpful with quote unquote heart disease. But it's going to vary from person to person, and that's why I'm not giving you a whole list of herbs, because when people do that, they're having you to treat the symptoms. They're not getting to the root of the problem, because they don't know what your life, health, family history is, what your diet and lifestyle is. And if they don't know those things about you, then they really wouldn't know specifically what to tell you to take. They're giving you a broad spectrum, and what you can do, which isn't a bad thing, is to try some of those things. But if you try them and you have a reaction or you get sick, then you got a whole nother problem. So that's where people like an herbalist or a health consultant can really help you to work in conjunction with your doctor to work your way away from the medication. So that's the good news for today. Our topic is getting away from high blood pressure medications, or alternatives to high blood pressure medication, because I help people to come off that high blood pressure medication all the time. And I'm hoping that they'll, in turn share it with other people so that people can come off of it. So we're winding down on our time. I want you to be sure and give us a call if you're on high blood pressure medication. And that way we can evaluate you and show you what the root causes of your high blood pressure is, how it's affecting your body, and in turn put together a program that can show you how to get off the medication and, in essence, get rid of the high blood pressure. It is doable, people. I see it every day, all day. So in rounding down, thanks for taking time with us today at Herban Renewal. Tell your friends and family and neighbors, tune in every Wednesday, channel 21 at 10 p.m. to Herban Renewal. That's Herban with an H, H-E-R-B-A-N. And I'm your host, Medina J. Nance. I'm a certified herbalist as well as a natural health teacher. And until next week, I want to wish you all a healthy, happy, and a blessed and productive day. Well, hello.